Hmm. Hello, everyone. This is Scott with Canund Nation. And now that we have the 250 signatures, we are technically a legal nation. And now the Grand Council can be put in play. And I'm the Grand Chief. No! Anyways, no. No, the reason why I was given, I wasn't so much given this position, it was just kind of earned. I helped found Canund Nation, so I'm no longer an administrator. I'm a Grand Chief, which is pretty cool. We will be doing elections probably the next week here for the first chief for the first community and maybe some council members. That'll come in handy. Boy, it's been a bit of a journey. We actually started the website last August here, and January 1st we started doing the e-signatures. So yeah, it's nice. We still have lots of room for more signatures. We're going for 5,000 now, so please still share it out. There's a lot of stuff still to do, but you got to enjoy the milestones, right? You got to celebrate when you can and enjoy the little things, because this is a huge step. Now we have a lot of organizations who can work with us. There's a lot of great things that can move forward. And so, yeah, I mean, that's just one great step. And this will help us too, because if we get supported by TechSoup Canada, then we get a whole bunch of extra advertising for free, and it helps our nation grow, as well as, yeah, I mean, it's so great, eh? I mean, I can sit there and yell and say, yes, yeah, right? But I don't know. As much as I'd love to have that energy, I'm 34, not 19. I'm still pretty excited, though. I love this. Anyone want to come in and join the video here? I can actually invite people. Let's see if I can invite one of the elders. See if they'll join. So that'll be pretty cool. Anyone else want to join us? Just comment below, and we'll yeah, just kind of get people's opinion, what they think. I mean, come on, it's the 250 mark. Got to get some people in here, and yeah. Okay. All right. I put it on the recruitment channel. Probably should have been more on the members, but nonetheless, it's kind of getting late for people on the West Coast for members. So we have members from all across Canada, by the way, which is pretty cool. So anyone who wants to come on and go live, just by all means let me know, and I'm happy to put it out there. And yeah, I don't know, I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of end or do this milestone with a few other people. And we do have other people, just they're camera shy. So it should be interesting. All right. And I do thank you, everyone. If you can still share this out. Like I said, we still got a ways to go. Now I can focus more on helping with applications. We're very far behind. I got to train about 3 new people to do applications. It's not that hard. It's how we work with our membership. So anyone who's signed is just a founding member, first of all. Let me explain that, which means it allows you to skip to the head of the line, puts you in a draw for a cabin, And if you don't want it, you can always choose who do you want to give it to. It's up to you. And I know most people didn't do this for that. Elder wouldn't put it out there. So I thought, well, you know what? Anything that can help us, the better, right? And that's awesome. So I hope you guys like my new background. I think it's pretty cool. The wolf and the sword there. But yeah, it's something to celebrate. We are now officially a nation at 250 signatures, but we're not done yet. The reason why I want to get close as we can to 5,000 is because we want to make sure we're strong. So let me explain this. If I just sent it the way it is right now with 250 to the registries, they'd pick at it. And they'd pick at it. And, oh, this person may not qualify, or that person, they just said back, no, this doesn't work, right? Everyone else would accept it, but you know government, right? They love to be a pain. So this, and they want you to pay for stuff too, right? So they can be a pain. But I was told by a friend in the registry that if we had 5,000 plus, they won't question. Like, you know what? Never mind. We're not going to have the headache of something like, protesting in here or something like that. So they'll actually just, here you go, approved, no problem. And again, strength in numbers, right? Our pack is growing and stuff like that. So also when I realized I just kind of skipped ahead a bit. I apologize. When we do membership applications, we talk to people, we set up a time, everything like that. Hopefully they sign the Constitution, become a founding member first, and then from there move forward. And okay, so for anyone who signs and becomes a founding member, it doesn't mean you have to move. You can stay down here, no problem. It just gives the option later down the road. If you want to go up north, you can. I'm just answering Terry Ann's question there. So from a private chat. So yeah, no, I mean, anyone who's a member can go up north. You have to sign up with a completely different application process. Okay. So I put the website address in there, but I think I need to actually put it through so I actually do watch myself on the other screen here. I have more than one screen in my studio, and I just finally got to use my camera back, so I'm happy about that. I was using my cell phone, and it's always great. Oh, hey, we got let's have Rob. Hey, Rob, the 250th guy to sign the Constitution. I'm so happy you joined. That's awesome.
Yes, the newest member.
Well, founding member. Yes, I was just explaining the process. So if you're a founding member, that doesn't mean you have to go north. That just means that you're a founding member, which is wonderful. But what it does, the advantages of it, there's two advantages. One, you get into and draw for a cabin, but most people don't care about that. And some people do, which is great.
Yeah.
But the other one is down the road, because the moment we set foot on the ground, we're going to have 100,000 plus applications. So there's a comment section when you go to apply, and you just put in there, hey, I'm a founding member. They look through the Constitution. Yep. Okay, boom, you get boosted to the top is the idea. So it's kind of a thank you for signing the Constitution. It's like, hey, you helped us out. Now we're going to help you out, if that makes sense.
I had considered joining Arbutus nation state on the island here.
Okay.
But they're not very. They're a lot bigger. They have all their people. I can actually go with my record of live birth and $50, and they'll put me in right away.
See, that sounds. No one should be charging you for membership. It should be free to go. Now, the only thing we ever charged for was an ID card. If you wanted an ID card, then that's what we were charging for. But we just took that off because no one wanted it, right?
Yeah.
If you want it, send us $100. We'll send you an ID card.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I actually discourage people because they're like, oh well, we're holding off for membership because we want to get that ID card, and I'm like, well, you don't actually need it, right?
No.
It helps when you're going up north, though, right? If you had to hike it and end up in north because everything went bad here, and you had an ID card saying Canund Nation, it's like, oh yeah, we've seen those before. You can go right in instead of us having to search with a long name of membership. It does make it easy on that end, but once you're up there, you'll have different cards anyways, and that's provided by the community.
Yeah, well, right now I'm on the southern tip of Vancouver Island on the coast.
Oh, okay. So you're in Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay, you actually in the city or whatever?
I'm in one of the many suburbs of Victoria.
Okay. I'm just trying to get back in my camera view here.
Oh.
You stole half my view. No.
I can always fix that.
No. I'm just bugging you. No, I just realized that I was like halfway out of the picture there, right?
Yeah.
So, no, it's just kind of nice to celebrate a bit with this. But yeah, so let's get back to the membership part because I keep getting sidetracked here. So when people apply for the membership part, then they go, people do interviews with them. We'll have about 3 people here soon doing that. Then that goes in front of the council. The council takes a vote, and the majority wins.
As always.
Yes and no. Normally, all the other councils are exactly equal of 8 for any community. For the recruiting council, I did 5 or 6 on purpose.
Okay. Well,
so even the people that are voting, or even the people that are doing the interviews, have the right to vote.
Yeah. So I'll let you know right now, as of Tuesday, as of Tuesday at midnight. So the start of Tuesday, I am no longer in the Navy. I am now officially a veteran, and no longer subject to military law.
Congratulations.
Thank
talk to me when that's over. I can't legally offer you anything at the moment, especially live. Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. But no, there's been a lot of other groups that we worked with when we started out. A lot of them have tried to copy us too. I've noticed that I've been told today that a few groups in Ontario and others, we're going to do this. We're going to bring all our people together. But then they try to copy it, and I don't give them all the information on purpose because I knew people are going to try to copy it, right?
Yeah.
So, but no, I do appreciate you being the 250th person that signed, and yeah, thanks, Rick. I love the background too; it's awesome, right? It's, no, I kind of see my spirit animal is a wolf and a tortoise.
Yeah.
The wolf is for, I think it's speed and agility, and the tortoise is for knowledge and wisdom or something like that.
Probably. Tortoises do live a very long time.
It all depends on which nation you go with. I think that's the Cree version. I could be wrong. No hold me to account on that because it's kind of one of those things where you're learning, right? I didn't grow up on a reserve. My family has always been First Nations, but long story short is on one side, my grandmother and her siblings were forced to leave the reserve because her mom passed away at a young age. Her dad was Scottish, and so that's my grandmother. And then on my father's side, I didn't even know he was First Nations to hold the other thing, but there's First Nations on that side as well, and that side is French too, from the Rose Royal bloodline. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
So, a royal brat with no a royal. Sorry, I should say a royal poor brat with no crown to inherit.
Yeah, right.
That's why I kind of laugh at it, right? Because the French crown was like removed in 1919, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I wouldn't want that anyways. It would just be like, I don't know how people did that in the first place. Be able to rule like that would be horrible.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
where are we here? I'll just grab the minis. But
so nice. No, we'll have a lot.
Those are my minis. Those are actually my medals.
Nice. No, we'll have lots of security, and we'll have to protect the waters too. You know what I'm talking about. With everything going to shit, we need to make sure that our food's secure and we can keep the neighbors fed. where
course.
we're going. I mean, there's 5 other communities up there, and they fly everything in. Yeah, they
Yeah,
can hunt and fish, but for how long would that last, right?
and
I
the
mean, they pay
winters are long.
$30 for a gallon of milk,
Yeah,
$12 for $15 a head of lettuce, and that's when it's kind of gotten brown, or
yeah,
brownish on the outside, and yeah, so it wouldn't last more than a day or two. Brick
yeah.
of butter is 12, so you kind of, yeah. I'm not promising all those products in particular, but even if we could do fresh produce and fish that they couldn't get, oh, that's awesome.
You know what that is?
Candle or
No, that is a tube of 25 1 ounce silver maple leaf bullion coins.
you want to take one out and show? Sorry, it's kind of blurry there on my end because I'm watching it from the StreamYard, so it kind of skips
Oh,
to
yeah.
somebody. Well, apparently our deal goes against community standards, so I just had to sit and say I understand. Okay, that's cool.
There, now you. And of course, there's the old German bat on the other side.
Oh yeah. Always interesting.
But that's pure silver.
No, I gotta ask though, what do you think of the truckers going east like that?
Personally, I don't think it will. It's a great show, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think much will come out of it
I,
because
I agree.
our auto, our corporate uh, maritime government in Ottawa will completely ignore it.
Well, look at the agreement they did with the last convoy, and then
Oh
the
yeah,
nothing ever came out of it.
yeah,
And I
and
mean, I've been knowing about all these protests over the last decade. I haven't seen any progress. I really wish it would work. I mean, it's awesome how many trucks are going there. It's an amazing sight.
oh yeah,
Um, but I just Ottawa hasn't honored any First Nations treaties and any
no,
treaties with any other nation out in the world.
no, they haven't.
They haven't honored any agreements with the people,
Yeah,
and they've broken every law that they could probably think of almost now.
oh they have. Yeah,
So
they've basically broken almost every section of the charter.
no, yeah, well, even if they suspend the charter, the Bill of Rights is what actually still is in play that can still
Oh yeah,
protect the people. The Bill of Rights. Okay, so first of all, let me explain something. Liberals did not give the gays or First Nations freedom. That
no, they
was a
didn't.
lie. They took them to court. The conservatives put through the Bill C. No, no, I'm sorry. The what I was just talking about there. It's
Yeah,
getting late there.
the charter.
Yeah, the Bill of Rights
Yeah,
that
the Bill of
allowed
Rights.
us either People's First Nations to leave the reserve at one time because those are concentration camps.
Oh yeah,
No doubt about that. I mean, Nazi Germans came to learn from Canadians on how that worked. Isn't
yeah.
that sick? And then you had well, that's just basic history, right? And then you got they were locking up people that were gay and lesbians, like 70, 80 in a room in mental health hospitals before.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays it's just like, yeah, okay, we don't always agree with what anyone does, but that's part of being free, right? You don't have to agree. But the point is, no one should have the right to do what they do.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, someone's just like, we should put Trudeau in jail. Yeah, I won't
No,
argue. I won't argue.
no, neither will I.
So yeah, no, I just keep getting comments here as we go. So Terry is actually in the same town I'm in. I found her in one of the groups that I kind of recruit people from, and I send her a friend request, and it always tells me when people are local, and I
Mm,
always find local people are for some reason the hardest to recruit. So it's nice when you have local people that want to actually participate, eh?
yeah. So a little bit for whoever is actually watching. Uh, I'm originally born in Regina, Family
Oh,
moved
okay.
to Fort Papel just that, not even a year after I was born. My dad's parents actually came uh, and settled near Edenwald, and my mother's side uh, can be traced back to Louis Riel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
So,
that's awesome. You
and
were
I just finished 25 years in the Canadian Navy as a marine engineer, and just waiting for the pension to start coming in.
Yeah, well, that answers another question people would keep asking me. If we're an independent nation, do people still get that? And as far as I know, you still do.
I earned it.
Well, of course you did, right? And so, like, we're setting up a trust so that way you can exchange from. Because I'm not sure if you know that we'll have our own currency.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
it.
so we'll set up a trust fund that does the exchange back and forth. Our
Okay.
network won't be attached to the external just because we don't want to get them hacked, eh?
Exactly.
And supposedly, my guy says that it can't be hacked, but the moment you challenge a hacker, they'll find a way. Bitcoin's been hacked more than 3 times that I know of, but yet they
Oh,
bragged at first, oh, it's not hackable.
if you ever say something's not hackable, that just makes them try harder.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Like when someone tells me it can't be done, well, look where we're at now.
Hmm.
250 signatures tonight.
But what was I going to say here? Yeah, 25 years as a marine engineer, and I bring a Canadian ham radio license along with me as well.
Nice. Yeah, no, we need more. We have a few people that are going for the courses for the ham radios and the
Yeah.
CD.
Yeah.
We're going to need those to communicate with other communities up there. Otherwise, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure nobody's honestly going to care about a license when we're up there, but it's still nice to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So we're not sitting there having a guy sitting there, so it's still nice
Oh, yeah.
to.
And the bonus with my license, I did the extra, got the advanced back before 2006. So I've got full HF as well. So
Nice.
I can literally get on a radio set, and if it's on the right band and pointed the right way, I could hit South Africa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. See, another great thing is there was under the Bill C-15 Indigenous Act that allows us to have our own radio
Yeah.
without control of the federal government. It allows us to have, like radio stations,
Yeah.
own media, stuff like that. It actually encourages it for our culture, which is nice.
That's right.
And I may only be 33% First Nations, but it's one of the biggest blocks of my DNA. So
Yeah.
I'm First Nation, 22% French, then all the rest of the Scottish, Irish,
Oh, yeah.
German, British, kind of,
For me, it's German, Austrian, Ukrainian, and the Métis side.
Oh yeah. No, I applaud what he did. He really got screwed over in the end, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like I always say, well, I'm not going to be silly enough to do what he did and I understand trying to make peace, but he went to Parliament thinking with no reinforcements that they were going to honor their end. And look what they did to him. They shot him on the steps and
Oh,
they
yeah.
hung him.
Yeah.
If he would have at least came with force to negotiate, there would have been no issue.
That's right.
But because he was alone and took them on good faith.
Mm-hmm. That was his first mistake. Good faith.
Well, it was only a really mistake. It didn't help too, though, that from what I understand is they settled in Manitoba, then they got ran out pretty much. Mm-hmm. Everyone says, oh, they sold out their land and for so much. No, they were forced out.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and then they're not by First Nations. It was by I think it was an Italian group or something that wanted control of that area, and they pushed them out. And then they came to Saskatchewan, hoping for a new beginning in Saskatchewan, and the Saskatchewan government said no.
Yeah.
And so that unfortunately didn't help, eh?
Hmm.
Trying to get one of the elders in here, but she's just kind of giving me thumbs up. So um, Alvina, she's on the council there. So her sister is the head of her family, and
Right.
I figured, well, as much as I like her sister too, they're really nice ladies. Uh, it would be not beneficial for her sister to be uh, the grand grandmother because she's already head of the family. It makes sense for the second sister to. Plus, I mean, she came and worked with us at first. She was looking for videos and something to watch. She watched me, and then she contacted me like, "Hey, I need change, right? Let's
Okay.
make change."
Yeah.
And they've done a lot to, get the family on board, and they're wonderful people, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, everyone's good, right? Sometimes we make bad decisions or not the greatest decisions,
That's
but
right.
we move forward. What makes
Yeah.
us good and was how we learn from our mistakes and hopefully keep building and keep going. The people that sit there and just kind of hide in a corner when they make a mistake and don't want to try after, that's a whole different thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have up to 2 years to actually make a move anywhere across Canada, and the Crown will pay for it.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So I've had a few people, which I thought was quite interesting. For some reason, when we mentioned the price, a basic price of the cabins, right? They're like, "Oh, it's
Hmm.
so expensive." But if you actually look to get a lot in Saskatchewan by a lake, is almost double of what the 1,500 square foot cabin was, eh?
Yeah.
Like, to try to get a new cabin on a lot and everything, you're looking about 500,000. We were asking
Yeah.
50 grand.
Oh, yeah. That's
I mean,
doesn't
it
even pay
isn't to
for the
try to
rent.
make a lot of money. It's to try to get people housed. And the
Yeah.
people that pre-buy cabins was the idea was that it would help with some of the funding. But I got a mining exploration company. I got a broker on that. We own mining claims on the other side of the province, on the north side,
Yeah.
which we can actually boat to from that same
Hmm.
area. We'll be going by every time. And so I'm trying to sell that. The minerals in the ground were estimated before we knew an updated deal was
Do you
worth
know what
10
minerals they are?
was estimated about 10.5 trillion. And now we have four other minerals that were found in that general area. Cobalt, I don't know very many claims. We have cobalt, copper, nickel, and platinum, palladium, and kind of all that, and even sulfur's in there too, which is great.
Yeah. Well, cobalt is going to be big with the electric cars for the
Oh yeah,
battery,
no, exactly. I told my brokers they call me Elon Musk. He'll love that.
and copper is always huge for electrical cable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh, we ended up getting lucky with this claim. It was just more or less 2 weeks prior. A company that was really big, they'd went under probably about a decade ago. They paid everything up, and then it just was released because they owed money finally.
Hmm.
And I came along, and I don't know. I just had a feeling I need to look for nickel. So I don't know why. Just like one of those nights, it's like, for some reason I have to look for nickel because I knew geology, right? So I was
Yeah.
looking through it and then going through everything, and
I
I'm
think.
one of those people that believes that God kind of pushes you in a certain way to get things
Yeah.
going. Right?
I think
And
nickel
I
will be
mean, how do you
fairly
else
big too.
explain?
Yeah, I was saying I think nickel will be fairly big as well.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. But I mean, we have two other nickel deposits on the land we're getting, so us selling this stuff is no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's also gold in there too. Apparently, there's always usually gold anyways. But anyone
Gold
who's
is always
silly
good.
enough and goes for gold, it goes broke. Have you ever
Yeah.
heard that saying? Go for
Yeah.
gold, go broke, right?
That's
That's
right.
because you got to go for the platinum, palladium, or go for copper. But the fact that it has all of that in there, I'm just like, wow, okay. It was done. Our neighbors from the north and then all the way around us from the west side. Last year, they went and did a whole new geology report showing that all around us is just filled with minerals, and our property has nickel deposit going almost a kilometer wide, and it gets smaller as it goes to their property on the other side.
Okay.
So there's nickel. What else is with it? So I don't. Anyways, once that sells, we'll have more than enough funding for everything. I still believe in people earning stuff because when but not pay the rest of your life for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, oh, I want to earn a cabin, it's like, great, that's awesome, because the basic, oh, we lost him. See, we'll get him back in. I did promise everyone I'd talk more about stuff, eh? I'll see if oh yeah, here we go. You're back.
Yeah, I messed up. I
No, it's all right.
tried doing something here on StreamYard and it kicked me out.
No, that's all right. So what I wanted to go over is that so people understand we have a system, but it's designed not to give things away for free, but not make you work for the rest of your life on it.
No, exactly.
And if you actually go to the website and go to the economic system and explain the basics, you could actually live off of one income earner. Now, big guy, woman, I don't care. It's up to you as long as we can get enough workers to do the job, which is great. Or both can still work if they wanted to. But one income earner with 2 kids and say wife, right?
Yeah.
At 3 CNTs an hour, which is equivalency of $30 an hour, could end up not only paying off cabin in 2 years, they could eat out every day at the community center, because at the community center it'd be about half a CNT a meal, and that's including all that. So it'd be about 2 CNTs a meal between the 4 of you, and at the end of the year you'd still be left with about 500-600 CNTs. That's including paying your 10% contribution for helping out with the community. That's including paying the utility maintenance fees. Not the utilities are free, so the power, water would be free.
Yeah.
Because there'd be 5 CNTs a month to help pay the guys' wages that go to fix the power lines and the waters and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But no, the utilities themselves are free. Well, it's hydro dam up there, right?
Well, yeah.
So why would we charge for power? There's no land taxes, no sales tax. The only thing you pay is a 10% contribution. The reason why we call it that, because it was a tax, it'd be going to the coffers. This goes to a community fund that's only meant for community things.
That's right.
So road, schooling, and medical. And I've had some people have that argument, oh, you can't do it on 10%, especially if you're giving away free healthcare. Normally, if we were paying $10,000 of that for chemo, absolutely. But if we switch it with cannabis oil, that's $900. And it actually does a way better job.
Yeah.
So instead of spending $5 million on one person, we spend $900 and get way better results. Well, who said money couldn't not buy everything, eh?
Exactly. And besides, out in nature there, that's almost the best medicine anyway.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. And thanks to the Bill C-15 Indigenous Act, it allows us to actually have our own medicines. Actually, I got a list here of all the different things. Allows us to reclaim our land. It actually allows us to keep all military out unless we agree to them being there. So, I mean, technically, if China did invade, we'd ask for the U.S. I wouldn't bother with Canada.
Oh.
You know.
The Canadian forces have been decimated by the vaccine.
Oh, yeah, there's barely 20,000 left, if that, you know. It also states in 7.2 that no one can take her children.
Yeah,
so,
I saw that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's a huge one for me, because CPS has been kidnapping, or whether it's legal or not, it's still kidnapping.
Oh, I know.
Our children for a long time. Ever since red school went away, then they put extra $80,000, $100,000 per child that's Indigenous or First Nations or anything like that on their head. So you can't tell me that's not the new residential school, right? Then there's we can also demand compensation, handle our own education, medicine, define our membership, economic, which means having our own. Economics means everything from that to currency, the whole 9 yards. And then we can also kick in and off for development and handle our own development too. I'm all for progress and I'm not saying, hey, let's go demand money from everyone, but it has to be under the right circumstances. Yeah. Make sure that they're not poisoning the land. If they want to process stuff, they have to take it off the land too. I don't mind heat extraction, but for chemical, they have to take it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll encourage heat extraction. They can refine it that way a lot, and then from there they can just remove it, and that makes a huge difference. I got a conversation. Morning. Okay. Okay. So someone was just saying goodnight. So she was heading to bed. So
Yeah, I should be doing the same thing here pretty soon myself.
yeah. So do you on shift tomorrow or no?
No, I've got my son here, and he's probably going to be up at like 6:30 or 6 a.m.
Younger kid then, right?
He's 10 on the autism spectrum.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
You know
because
how
usually
that
by the time they're like 12, they want to sleep in more than you do. But
Yeah.
when they're like anywhere to about 8, they're up before like sunrise almost. Eh?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably be up around anywhere between 5:30 to 7.
Okay. No, I mean it's been a great night. I worked my ass off, getting tagging everyone. I hate to be annoying, but Facebook's restricting me so much. I want
Facebook's
to get that
restricting
250,
everyone.
right?
Yeah.
So, and we keep growing as we're talking too, which is funny. So we
Nice.
need another 2 signatures, 2 duplicates, eh?
Yeah.
So I'll have to fix that down the road. I'm not worried about that tonight, but no, we're making progress, which is awesome.
Well,
Now we can
at least you're over
now-
the 250 threshold there.
yeah, and then just a 5,000 to show strength more or less than anything.
Mhm.
Because I could send it tomorrow, but the chances of us getting accepted would be very slim, even though we're following guidelines. But if we went with 1,000, they would more likely accept it. But 5,000, they would. Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's kind of all the same as just basics. What you munching on there?
Oh, just some popcorn.
Oh, okay.
I had started up a movie, and
Oh, and
with Meatloaf passing there, I thought I'd throw on the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
oh, okay. Yeah, and here I am sitting there tagging you probably. You're like, fine, I'll sign it, damn it. And then you end up being the 250, eh?
Yeah, right.
I think I've talked with you a few other times when you mentioned
Yeah.
the Navy. I'm like, let me just next.
I'm out
Not
now.
on purpose, because I didn't know much about you, and it's not to be rude. It's just I know when you're in the military, your allegiance is to the fake queen and the
Yeah.
parliament. Pretty much is what it is.
Well, the oath of allegiance that you swear is to the Queen. The government has nothing to do with it.
And yet
Except that
we have no
the
queen.
government
Interesting,
is the one that
right?
controls the military.
Yeah, and yet we have no queen.
No.
We haven't had a queen since the 70s. She chose England.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those funny things where we're sitting here and and the governor general too. I mean, we haven't needed governor general since the 70s. So it's kind of one of those things. If you aren't paying attention, it's the prime minister that issues the governor general.
Exactly. The so-called Queen may appoint the Governor General, but it's on whoever the Prime Minister puts forward.
Yeah, well, if she was appointing the governor general, it would be someone from England coming here, kind of like a diplomat, to oversee. That's how it always worked beforehand.
That's right.
And then when they changed that with the Bill of Rights and the Freedom of Charter rights, and then she gives independence, eh?
Yeah, it was Statute of Westminster, I think, in like 1931 or sometime way back when.
Okay.
that
No, all I
changed.
remember is that she wanted. Britain got sick of her being in charge of all the other nations. I guess they got envy and they said, okay, you got to pick a nation. And it'll be queen of one. And she chose England.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of weird that they let it go the way they did, but that was after World War II. I know that for sure. A lot of nations were trying to get rid of their whole empire. But I didn't realize that they almost had about 50 nations at one point.
It might have been 1948.
Oh, okay, for the year. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they had almost 50 nations underneath them at one point. So
Oh,
all
yeah.
the nations that have been underneath them, once we get to that level, not only are we going with that, we're going to send it out to all those nations too.
Yeah.
And hopefully get recognized.
Yeah, the old saying was the sun never sets on the British Empire.
Yes. And is
and
that
that was I think it might still be that way for the Commonwealth today.
that honestly would not surprise me, to be honest with you. It I know we sit in with what we have, and
Yeah.
like I've had some people too that were First Nations, some of my people are like, well, this can't happen. People can't write laws. I'm like, well, how do you think they get written? By government. But who
Mhm.
runs government? People. Right? So it's always a fun argument when you get people that are kind of debating like that. So, or the 10% tax thing, or and I get it. A lot of people have been programmed to think that has to be the way it is. But I mean, even our guests, which are technically immigrants, we call them guests to be nice,
Yeah.
is a 25% tax. Citizens is 10. We take care of our own people first. Jobs go to our people first. If there's leftovers or the crappy jobs, that goes to the guests, whoever wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they come in with wealth too, that's fine. The only thing they, I guess, can own in our deal is condos, but they have to live out of it 6 months a year. If it sits abandoned, it can be taken back and resold. So we're being very strict about that because, like, I don't mind people coming in and spending resources, right? Because that boosts our economy.
Yeah, that's right.
But it's got to be done the right way. I mean, you look at Vancouver and Toronto, how many real estate just went through the roof and ruined this country for real estate because they were playing the condo game. Well, yeah, they can buy a condo, but you can't. In our deal, we capped it, so you can't buy it for. You can't sell it for more than what you paid for. However, if you bought it and had anoium and you put marble in, increasing the value, then that's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you bought a deal and you had on the property because you can't own the land, you just have a stewardship title, but you put a garage and a pool, then you can add that in the value if the person agrees to it when you go to sell.
That's right.
But you can't actually get more than what you actually paid for and do nothing, is the idea.
Mm.
And the idea is so that way future generations can actually afford real estate, not like we have today.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
I mean, like, and it works great too because, like, when I was doing the 3,000 square foot design, yes, 11 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. I know people, well, I can't be that for, but what it is that even though we call them cabins, it's more or less for, it was from a different project, why we started doing that. But essentially, everything would be framed, but we use outside slabs and for siding, interior, exterior, but we still insulate everything.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. But for someone who's kind of looking to move up there and retire, get a 3,000 square foot. Why? Because you can board people there, charge $500 a month for rent for each one of them, provide food, and you got it made, right?
Yeah.
You got your little boarding place and stuff like that. And I mean, a place like that for just a regular house out in the country is what, $500,000 or more, just an old one for 3,000 square feet. We're asking only 200.
In
I think
in the Victoria area here, you will not get an actual single family house for under 900,000.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was looking at real estate there. Actually, it's funny because I found my family crest on a few of the properties that were, going for about 18, 19 million. I like looking at big places. Not saying I was going to live there, but it would be interesting one day to have a nice place. Anyways, I grew up single mom. She did her best and then got sick and she ended up on welfare, right?
Mm.
And that was first 10 years of my life I was living out of the farm with my grandparents. Then at the age of 10, then to 18 with my mom in Edmonton.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, big places would be nice for people who want to do boarding. It's either 200,000 or it would be 20,000 CMTs, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, just like an investment. I mostly designed the place because if you know anything about big First Nations family, grandma and grandpa usually get to take care of all the grandchildren and all that stuff. So next thing you know, you got 20 children living on the same home, or you have 5 adults in 5 bedrooms with or coupling, and then you got the kids in there, and it's just you got like 20 people in a 5-bedroom house, and
Yeah.
So it's kind of like designed to help, so everyone can maybe get their own room or put bunks and have two boys to a room or
Yep.
two girls to another room. But at least the kids get their own room for a change, right?
Yeah.
And mom and dad get, even if it's not a big room, get their own room, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it a lot in Edmonton, a lot of big cities, and that's because of poverty, right? I mean, you're sitting there, they can't afford to buy, but they can. Because a lot of First Nations have a hard time getting credit for that. Not all of them, but even having a lot of their money come in, for some reason, banks won't approve a lot of them.
Yeah.
I've known people to make more, if they get their checks from the reserve and from child tax credit and everything, they almost make about 5-8 grand a month, which would be more than enough to pay. That's guaranteed income, right?
Yeah.
Nope. So, anyways, we're getting sidetracked.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna head off here.
No, absolutely. Thank you for your time there, and thank you for service.
Yeah.
Talking with you, I guess Wednesday maybe.
Yeah.
Since you said you're being discharged Tuesday.
No, I was discharged already.
Oh, okay. Oh, last Tuesday here.
Yeah, the 17th of January was my last day in the Navy.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought you meant the next Tuesday here.
No.
Up. So. But anyways, congratulations.
I am completely free and clear from the Navy and no longer subject to military law.
How long did you serve?
25 years full time and then 2 years reserve previous.
So I do have a legal question. I'm not sure if you can answer that or not. Because you swear the allegiance to the Queen at one point, doing something like this, and if you were, say, security, would that be conflict of interest?
No.
Okay.
Because I have been completely released from the Canadian Forces, and no longer subject to the military law.
All right. No, that's cool. And I just asked because I know when we looked at trying to get a constitutional lawyer to help with the Constitution, because members were suggesting that, I had one guy is just like, dude, if I helped you, I'd be committing treason.
Yeah.
It's not that what we're doing is wrong or illegal, just for him because he swore allegiance to the crown, right?
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately,
anyways, go ahead.
Unfortunately, the government that exercises the power of the crown is committed the biggest form of treason there is, and they've gone against the people.
Absolutely. One question is maybe that's not a good question. I'll ask you that in the private chat later on. But anyways, yeah, no, it's good night. 250. I'm a Grand Chief finally.
Yeah.
Now we can get a bank account. Believe it or not. Now we can get a bank account.
That works.
Well, as an individual to get a bank account, but not as an organization.
Right.
I'm gonna hopefully send this stuff off to TechSoup Canada today or tomorrow. We can get that all working with a week or two. We'll get $10,000 a month for advertising from Google. So we can spend $333 a day in free advertising. I know because I've ran other charities and nonprofits. And so that really helped get people aware. But at one point, I had 10,000 applications and no one wanted to help.
Yeah.
So long story short is I created a program where we're going to build communities in rural areas and to help people get back up on their feet, whether you're in welfare disability or just in poverty in general. The idea was that you do training courses. You have 1,000 volunteers and 4,000 people training at any given time. I know a lot of people that were semi-homeless that could have been a volunteer, pretty much, that have the skilled trades and the red seals and everything. We had oil companies that were willing to donate, everything like that, but we couldn't get charity status because it was too complex for the government to understand. I said, well, you just did it as a church. But I don't want it to be a church. Yes, we have a church for people to go to, but we're not Hutterites. We're not a religious entity was the idea, right?
No.
You either go to church or not was the idea. You didn't have to be part of it. So it was meant to be healing. The church was there to heal if you want to go get healing that way. But that was it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? So anyways, that was kind of my idea. Went to a few other things and then now here.
Yeah.
So all that experience and mining exploration for 2 years. So that was interesting.
Okay.
Ran a social network for 3.
Yeah.
Anyways, you got to go. I'll talk
Yeah.
to you later.
Have a
And
great night.
thank you very much. May the Creator be with you and God bless. Eh?
Yes. God bless.
All right, everyone. If you haven't signed the Constitution, share the video out. We still need that 5,000 signatures, as you heard from the video. We need to show strength at this point. And again, founding member allows you to skip to the head of the line. If you want to go north, you don't have to just by being a founding member. And you get a chance to be entered into a draw to win a cabin. Well, actually, you always get entered in a draw, but you get a chance to win a cabin. Sorry, guys, it's been very late tonight. I was hoping to get this done a lot sooner. Either way, guys, may God be with you. May the Creator be with you. And He will always provide. Amen.